I think the biggest thing is just do me, have fun.
All the level you feel the praise, that's the level you're going to feel all the hate too. So you got to stay right in the middle.
Ever wonder why some players become legends while others just become footnotes? Jason Whitlock thinks he's got it figured out, and it's all about Caitlin Clark. He's saying the WNBA is playing a dangerous game by not embracing her star power. Want to know why? Stick around as we unpack this controversial take. Listen up, Caitlin Clark, because Jason Whitlock just said something that you won't believe. He went so far as to say she was the WNBA's all-time MVP. Do you think that's true? Someone new, but hear me out. Whitlock isn't just being effusive in his praise. What matters most in women's basketball is being made very clear by him. So, what exactly does Whitlock mean when he calls Clark the box office? Numbers on a sheet aren't everything. What really matters is the energy she brings to each match. Fans aren't merely spectators when Clark takes the court, they're absolutely glued to their seats. With each touch of the ball, they wait breathlessly. That level of enthusiasm is what draws in spectators and viewers. Put it in your mind. There hasn't been a WNBA game in a long time when Clark's presence is the center of attention. She's doing more than scoring. She's making memories. What gets shared all over social media are those deep threes and no-look passes. That's the spark that ignites a conversation about women's basketball the following day at work. You may be asking at this point whether points and rebounds aren't important. Very much so. However, things start to get intriguing at this point. According to Whitlock, conventional statistics just won't cut it anymore. Great players aren't enough for the WNBA. It needs superstars. It requires daily wow moments from its players. And that is precisely the contribution that Clark makes. Whitlock says that her game seems more like a man's game.
At the level you feel like all the praise, like that's the same level you'll feel all the hate. So I try to stay right in the middle.
Something I worry about. I think I just worry about, being in this moment, enjoying this moment. The people that I really care about, the people that I really love, they'll always have my back.
Listen to him before you get mad. She has excellent court vision, quick decision-making skills, and a lightning dribble, according to him. The game is played in a way that is quick, thrilling, and full of surprises. This is the type of basketball that never gets old for the fans. But Clark's performance isn't the only factor. Her significance to the WNBA's trajectory is at the heart of the matter. Whitlock claims that she is altering the expectations of her fans. These days, spectators come to watch women's basketball, but they also want to have fun. Incredible plays, games that come down to the wire, and nail-biters are what fans crave. Clark truly excels in that area. She possesses exceptional skills as both a player and a performer. Her every move in a game is a spectacle. Rather than waiting for the next day to see the box scores, people are tuning in live to see what she does next. For the WNBA, this is a great deal. Clark's potential impact on the league as a whole is more important than any one player's personal achievements. Just think about the possibilities if every squad had a player with this level of enthusiasm. Envision arenas teeming with spectators, each one eagerly awaiting the next spectacular play. Let us now turn our attention to Angel Reese. With her double-double streak, she must be feeling pretty good, right? The world is abuzz because Jason Whitlock just revealed something shocking. According to him, these records are irrelevant. Not nice, is it? But you won't understand why until you hear this. Whitlock isn't merely being critical. In women's basketball, he has brought up an important point regarding the metrics used to evaluate performance. You see, the WNBA has been heavily promoting Reese's accomplishments. People are gushing over her streak on social media as if it were a miraculous development. However, Whitlock is arguing that the audience isn't getting what they want. He believes the WNBA is trying to counter Caitlin Clark's popularity by using Reese's statistics. It's as if they're beckoning you to come and see. We're seeing records being shattered. However, Whitlock does not believe it. According to him, they want to focus everyone's attention on box score because they don't like the person who's bringing the box office.
Caitlin wins the championship. It's pretty damn good. Yeah, she's a go.
Whitlock seems to think these double-doubles don't matter, but why? On this, he holds some fairly firm views. This thing is just made up, he says. Whoever held the prior record is a mystery. That hurts. However, I do see his point. Do these records matter in the end if nobody is keeping tabs on them? Yet the records are only part of the story. The level of play in the WNBA is also something Whitlock is criticizing. It may not be as remarkable as it sounds, he says, to get a double-double in the WNBA. He seems to be implying something along the lines of, sure, you can rack up stats, stats. But are you really changing the game? The action begins to heat up now. When it comes to fan excitement, Whitlock is drawing a line between paper goodness and reality. Says he of Reese, you check her box score, you don't go to the games. That is a bold assertion. All these impressive numbers, he argues, don't equal seats filled or viewers engaged. Then what is the true consequence of this? Whitlock is questioning the current WNBA player evaluation system. Does it boil down to figures? Does something else hold greater significance? What he means is that being statistically impressive isn't the same as being a league-changing game changer.
Caitlin Clark will have her jersey retired and replaced with an apron.
Since you're such a big fan, I brought you a souvenir. It's an apron signed by me.
Indiana Fever is a WNBA team and not what Michael Che gave to dozens of women at Purdue University.
Put it in your mind, does the news of a player setting a new record entice you to watch the game? Or do you find yourself more compelled to tune in when tales of incredible plays, game-winning moments, and heart-pounding finales circulate? That's the one Whitlock is putting his money on. A genuine conflict in women's basketball is being revealed by this entire discussion. You have the more conventional metrics, such as your point total, rebound percentage, and double-double total on the one hand. The ability to thrill spectators, fill stadiums, and expand the game is what's known as box office appeal on the flip side. Whitlock is being quite forthright in this regard. He asserts, this whole double-double thing, man, people are going to realize. He believes that eventually the fans will realize that these numbers don't represent the full picture. This claim is quite daring and has people talking. So what happens to Angel Reese and other players? Everyone agrees that she has talent. Whitlock argues, however, that natural ability may not be sufficient in the modern world. Players with more skills than simply scoring points are needed in the WNBA. They require players with the ability to captivate an audience and inspire them to develop a deep affection for the game. You would assume that the Rookie of the Year discussion is solely about rookies, but that would be completely incorrect. A bombshell has been dropped by Jason Whitlock, and it has everyone talking. Not only does he think Caitlin Clark deserves Rookie of the Year, but he even thinks she could win the league MVP award. Do you think that's true? A rookie who could end up being the WNBA's most valuable player. Wait a second, how is it possible for a rookie to be named MVP? You may be asking. However, Whitlock is taking this very seriously. Clark, he claims, isn't merely competent for a rookie. She's revolutionizing the game. To back it up, he has some pretty strong words. When asked about Clark, Whitlock referred to her as the most valuable player in WNBA history. What we perceive as value in women's basketball has undergone a paradigm shift, and that is more than just compliments. He's implying that Clark's influence extends far beyond his stats. What sets her apart from the rest is what matters most. Then what is it about Clark that is unique? Her abilities aren't the only thing that stands out, though they are remarkable. It's all about the energy she brings. Everyone pays close attention whenever Clark steps onto the court. People aren't merely observing, they're actively involved. The following day, her plays are still being discussed. She is being featured prominently on social media. Whitlock calls her box office. At this point, opinions begin to diverge. In essence, Whitlock is arguing that conventional statistics are incomplete. I get it. Other players might be posting even better stats. Are seats being filled, though? Do they manage to pique interest in women's basketball? That is where Clark stands out, says Whitlock. What makes a player valuable is something he is questioning fundamentally. It's more than just having basketball skills. It's about having basketball character. Whitlock claims that Clark's fan base, marketability, and playing style are more important than conventional metrics. However, things start to get intriguing at this point. Clark isn't the only one at issue here. Serious problems within the WNBA are being brought to light. How can we identify true abilities? How can the league expand its roster? Is the emphasis on statistics coming at the expense of star power? Basically, Whitlock is going after the entire system. He is arguing that in order for the WNBA to succeed, the league must reconsider its player value system. Having good players put up good numbers is insufficient. The league is in need of superstars or players who can captivate an audience and introduce them to the sport. The impact on women's basketball going forward is tremendous. If Whitlock is correct, the game itself, as well as the way teams select players and promote them, might undergo a radical radical transformation. In this hypothetical WNBA, every club is on the hunt for the next Caitlin Clark, the kind of player who can captivate an audience and win over new fans. Yes, I would like to discuss the prospects for women's basketball. The truth bomb that Jason Whitlock just dropped has everyone talking. According to him, the only numbers that count are the sellout crowds and TV ratings. Do you think that's true? It's all about getting people to sit down and look at screens? He's basically saying, so disregard the records and statistics. Why is this important, you may be asking? The future of the WNBA is greatly affected by this. According to Whitlock, the league should prioritize what makes fans happy. Having talented players isn't enough. Having charismatic stars is what really matters. Put it in your mind, when was the last time a WNBA game featuring Caitlin Clark generated as much excitement as this one? Whitlock is referring precisely to that. Clark and other similar players are revolutionizing the game of basketball. This is about more than just improved games. An entirely new degree of enthusiasm is at hand. Envision arenas teeming with spectators, each one eagerly awaiting the next spectacular play. Picture the aftermath of each game causing social media to explode with highlights. The WNBA could reach new heights with that type of enthusiasm. The problem arises, however, at this point. What will happen to the other WNBA teams if the league begins to prioritize these box office players? What about the athletes who excel in more conventional metrics but may lack the charisma of a household name? Answering this question is not simple. There are players who are reliable, steady, and productive. For their teams, they are indispensable. On the flip side, there are players whose performances captivate fans even though they don't always finish first in the statistics. Teams may find their dynamic changed as a result of this. Pretend you're a trainer. When assembling a squad, do you prioritize the most stat-heavy players? Is it more important to find players who can captivate the crowds? It's not easy to find that sweet spot, and furthermore, how do the participants fare? Would players' strategies change if the league began to prioritize box office appeal over more conventional forms of skill? Will they start to prioritize spectacular plays over sound basics? The WNBA will face challenges like these in the future. However, if Whitlock is correct, it has the potential to entirely revamp the league. Imagine a Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA, where each game is spectacular, where viewers aren't content to merely monitor the score, they're actively participating by tuning in live, where women's basketball is all the rage and highlight reels are shared online and in the office. Whitlock is referring to that future. In the future, the WNBA is more than just respected, it's television gold. In this arena, female basketball players are considered superstars, not merely athletes. However, the change will be challenging. The league needs to figure out how to make basketball more exciting while still highlighting the importance of teams. They must find a way to promote these box office players without making them the team's scapegoats. The fans must also be remembered. How does this change will affect the WNBA's most ardent fans? Are they going to accept the new strategy, which is more centered around entertainment? But will they not also feel like they're missing out? If the WNBA continues down this road, it will undoubtedly alter the fan experience significantly. There may be alterations to the game's broadcasting format, an increase in the visibility of players' off-court personalities, and the introduction of more interactive features during games.